There are numerous religions that have failed to bring enlightenment to all souls and spread the knowledge of truth that Christ spoke in our own power to create. Instead, the purpose is to oppress all souls and to become a partner of the network of ignorance and enslavement of the soul and mind. The truth shall be given freely and with dignity and wisdom. The reality of empowerment is the only purpose for us to exist in consciousness. We must all be enlightened in the new world of a new order, all souls to their full potential. There will be schools of enlightenment to replace a man-created school that has only taught the mind how to be enslaved and taught people how to be weak puppets, living only for war and the economics of the network of the three organizations. Our founding fathers had to have understood only half of the truth, or did they know more but because of the three network of organizations, were prevented from divulging the truth, knowing the repercussions of doing so, death, but falling short of the highest realm of superior law and power. I venture to say yes, because they also foolishly believe that having riches was all there was to know. It would take much more brilliant humans, who were born for a purpose and who would be tested on many levels, to achieve the empowerment to seek out the truth and to be certain of its validity to teach the entire world, including the wealthy, of the other truth. I don't believe in coincidences or luck. Everything is created by the desire and design of the cosmos that communicates with the mind. For our generations to reconnect and share the same ideas of empowerment for all humans and Earth is no accident. What holds the secret is the constellation we were born under and exactly where the planets were located during our births. Our constellation at birth knows all our previous lives we experienced in the past. It is true when it is said, "It is written in the stars." We will do what so many others fell short of doing and will not be swayed by things we now know we can create by the ability of our minds and knowing how to operate the mind as a command post to creation. I will never forsake what is real for any illusion in this reality. Only a fool would forsake the opportunity to act on behalf of Christ and his purpose to exist in any reality other than his knowledge of enlightenment of freedom. To not seek his wisdom would be just pure ignorance. Once you achieve understanding of how the mind should be used and how it functions with the correct information of the laws of energy and how it is responsible for all we create and all it is capable of, you will begin to feel changes. Alchemy is what we are and what we do all day. We contribute every day, whether we use our energy to co-create toward a greater reality, one of truth and pure love, or to sustain the current reality. We do have a choice in this decision. If one desires to see, all one needs to do is ask, and it will be shown to one, but the mind must be open to begin the process. Reading the correct information is the key to expanding the mind. For now, this is how it must be done, my friend. Never speak the words, "I haven't the time to learn or seek this knowledge." That is part of the design to keep you enslaved and to keep you from your highest potential. The many programs of reality of the current system are designed to create fear that we respond to by expressing the wrong emotions. How we have been trained to think and act within the parameters of lack, fear, insecurity, and greed to accomplish all we want is not what we really want or need. Consider the wealthy man, whether young or old. What the two have in common is that they will be sought after, not because of their inner selves but because of their wealth. This is not anyone's fault. Men and women use their sex appeal and forfeit real truth and happiness, all for a man-created reality. When this happens, the window of opportunity to seek real knowledge will most likely not be discovered. However, once the world is supplied with pure knowledge, this will bring in again the path to the golden age of enlightenment in the great cycle of time. Every man, woman, and child will exist by his or her very own law of desire and action as well as the science of creation, using the mind as the navigator. The reality of war will no longer be required in this world. I know once the mind has connected to its soul, and the time is served and mastery of the real superior knowledge has taken place, that soul moves on to the higher realm of realities. Humanity will not be regulated by the current forms of governments, which are trained to seek and to impose sanctions against the planet and all its citizens in order to manipulate control. These are governments that create a false reality to imprison their people within this false environment. In each specific geographic location, this knowledge, being practiced by all of society around the world, will bring about a balance in all corners of the planet. Finally, the colors of the rainbow will be experienced as each color depicts each level of reality. All parts of the world are to be shared and are equal in what the planet has to offer. It is to be ungrateful and proud against our planet to confine any soul in any way and to deny that the energy of our souls is a free agent of God and His earth, here to experience all there is to know of our planet. The earth is perfect. It is the designed reality of the environment that molds the mind of man in its current state. That is the parasite that poisons the planet and all that exists in this environment. The planet suffers when evil and darkness are unbalanced against love and light and are bestowed to any human through the lack of food or shelter. I only see balance, and I see us having everything required to create by virtue of our very own power of mind and thought. The universe is waiting eagerly to fill every desire of goodness that can be imagined. It is up to the light workers to share and teach superior universal laws to our brothers and sisters. We are as one, and together we have it all. Chapter 12 Alchemy and the Energy of the Mind. The alchemy of the brain and how it functions is the secret to the higher realm of our true reality. The study of the soul and mind is the opposite of the alchemy of material things, and how the alchemy of the brain works is simple beyond words. I know how the formula of alchemy works. I also know its connection to the mind that is driven by the passion of the heart that works together with the invisible force that is the cause of all things to become to be in our presence. The action that begins the process is as simple as opening the mind and allowing yourself to meditate on space and time in a relaxed state of consciousness in the present moment. When we walk within the path of light and fulfill our true purpose, this state of pure consciousness will serve to bring forward what we have thought. This eventually comes to be in our current realities, which are atoms, molecules, cells, carbon, and energy. This is the action of quantum physics and how all minds are constantly creating, whether they are aware of this or not. We are co-creators of everything we draw to ourselves, and by signal we send out what will become the experience of our desired thoughts. We are constantly doing one of two things, either making our own rules or following another's rules and direction. By my own understanding, I came to the conclusion of how to use this energy and how all things come together. Learning this science and knowledge has proven to me that I have been thinking and creating through my ability to visualize all I have desired from the pyramid I created, discovering what purpose it would serve in this reality. My constant and fervent thought is for all souls to experience the reality of knowledge from a higher dimension of consciousness and that we will know that we have this blueprint within our souls, which will be connected to this source for eternity. There are two sides of alchemy. The first is the concept of material matter, and the other is the energy force that reacts from the command of the mind, which is where I have gained my knowledge and understanding, the study of the soul and mind. Only a soul or spirit is pure energy and harbors all the buried knowledge that only the free will can activate. The universe, soul, and mind go hand in hand. One will not exist without the other, and each one is sustained by the other. They exist as one. This includes the atoms, molecules, and cells that are present in all things and become infused by the energy of thought, which is what enables us to co-create all that has been and all that will be in the past, present, and future. I know this must sound pretty wild, but I can tell you it is absolutely true. It has been the best kept secret that has been within us the whole time. Only a few actions are required. One is free will. The reasoning for free will is to allow each mind to do and make a choice that no other has any jurisdiction over. It is important to separate man's reality from the reality of stealth, superior knowledge, and the power of the free will. Without it, nothing would be possible. Take a look at your surroundings. What do you see? Consider everything: furniture, art, clothes, appliances. It has taken an unlimited amount of minds to create all of what you have and see in your presence. What is missing is the ability to think and understand how it all came into this reality. We seem to take for granted that any given person is smart and creative. More often than we realize, the people who create things have done so without realizing the alchemy of how they have achieved it. That can be dangerous. To create and yet not have the foggiest idea how it came to be a tangible item. Sadly, many create for the purpose of wealth, thinking this is what is going to sustain them and make them happy. It is a temporary fix that will never fill the void in the heart of what is required to feel complete. Only learning the knowledge through science and logic will deliver to each soul the reality of the power of love and fill the gaping void in the heart. When the quantum physics are not understood, the material things we create out of an unbalanced mindset can be propagated by others, interfering with the free will and manipulating the state of mind by placing a new concept in its place: lack, fear, and powerlessness. I would like to share in advance that what we create is never ours to keep. This can be difficult to accept or even understand. The reason I am stating this is simple. Along the way, the world has placed all energy into ownership of something. The fact is that the substance it requires is only on loan to us. It was never meant to be ours. The ingredients required to create anything belong to this planet. The ingredients were provided for experimentation so we could learn through our ability to create a thought that would become tangible once the mind was aware of the invisible force of energy. This energy was responsible for infusing together the elements that were required to bring forth our desires and thoughts into that tangible item that could be seen and held. This was to be the alchemy of two worlds existing as one whole, one that could be seen and the other assisting in an invisible state of energy. When the unseen other world was cut off from our existence, Earth became only half of what it was intended to be, and all who resided here became enslaved due to the misuse of this power to control the mind and soul. Each of our lives is brief, and what we achieve or create in material form during our times here on Earth and while in this consciousness are meant to get us closer to the source truth that will completely free our minds in ways we have never dared to imagine. We have earned the right to have and harness the superior knowledge we expanded upon while in the powerful state of consciousness and take the earned knowledge with us to the other side when the physical vessel expires. Our vessel, made of all elements of matter and carbon, will also reside in this reality, as it, too, is only on temporary loan to us while we have our stay until the next time or the privilege to exist in the next dimension of reality. Many fall short of learning this and only find out the truth when their time arrives to ascend to the buffer and then into the higher realm for a brief visit. Once there, it is very upsetting to learn what could have been achieved in this consciousness of life, what resides within us, which is the blueprint of the love and knowledge of the ability to create all we could have ever imagined. Now that we have opened our minds to these new and exciting possibilities, I will explain how our minds work and how we are responsible for all things, good or bad, that we experience. The mind has the capability to create whatever it is thinking about through a process of subconscious manifestation. The mind and alchemy work together through quantum physics to produce the action to bring forth the intentions we send out through our own magnetic vibrations. When a human has conceived the idea to desire a material object, the action of the mind and its thought of intention steps in. The thought continues to the heart, creating the desire that becomes the vibration. Then energy is sent out to the cosmos of our universe. The universe has an invisible force that reacts to the command of thought from the human minds, and depending on what is being desired, it knows exactly the correct amount of elements, atoms, molecules, and cells, to infuse with the energy of thought, which will immediately go to work pulling all things, including people, to make sure it comes into this reality in the form of a tangible item or action in a reasonable amount of time. This action of the mind works to produce material things and has the force to involve others to assist in getting it done. The physical part can be in action. I recommend only imprinting wholesome thoughts to achieve a result that is in the form of an action. We also use this energy to create a physical action, such as delivering a speech that has been well written. All humans are capable of mastering this knowledge that is commanded by the mind that utilizes the elements and property of energy around us to create intelligence in all humans that exist in life forms in the current consciousness of life. For instance, within the system of government, if you are being wrongfully sued and you are innocent, you need not look to the court system to work for you because it will never happen. Instead, see the outcome with clarity and release it. Don't second-guess what the outcome will be based on what you have been trained to think of man's law bringing truth and justice. That, my friend, is an illusion of the man-created reality we have existed in,